number one, there's no winner, in a trade war situation, right? I think that both will hurt. It's not only hurt both U.S. and China, but more broadly, the hurting for the global economy and for supply chain. So I think that's a very, very important message, for everyone in the world. I think we should avoid a trade war as much as we can. So China react in a very reasonable, calm way, so step by step, and also say the door is open. I think that's a very mature attitude. It's very important. And at this point, I still see a chance to avoid a trade war. And although people see the escalating, on the sort of statements, verbal and issues, but I see still a chance because it's a global interest. It's both U.S.-China interest, and China take a very calm approach.
Right. And also, President Donald Trump seems to be a little bit unpredictable president. Sometimes... Not
a little bit, very much, yeah.
Sometimes he just posts on Twitter saying, or claiming he's a good friend of President Xi Jinping, but the other day he may just post some very tough stance and measures on the Chinese exported goods. So, and all these could bring a lot of uncertainties to the policies in China. So what measures and policies do you think the Chinese government should have in hand to prepare for the worst and also hope for the best?
You got to read his tweets, right? I mean, he's the president of the United States. But you don't want to take it too seriously, right? Because you have to see what actions they will take. But the good news, Chinese authorities never do that. So they always carefully assess the situation, see what is the real his policy, not his tweeters.
Let's turn to the Chinese economy a little bit, because we've seen a lot of changes in the past months with the new lineup of governments, new leaders of the PBOC. Now some new measures have already been implemented. What do you expect the most to see in economic as well as financial sector?
Things really changed in the past 2 years. I mean, things are stable. The first issue is growth will slow down, but quality improved. For example, consumption increased dramatically. This year probably will be able to reach 58–59% of GDP, which is that. Investment drops, trade share of the GDP also drops. So we are changing our growth model now. I think that's very important. Innovation is really much toned up, right? That means we are shifting away from the traditional growth model to the new growth model now. So looking forward, I hope we really want this growth model change to continue, right? It's very important. So we need to continue deleveraging. We need to continue to decapacity, and we need to pay more attention on people's income and make sure more balanced, sustainable growth. And the good news in the past 2 years, and the people's income level is really increased stronger than GDP growth rate, which is also good. But behind the whole thing, still the key issues, we want to be more innovative. So we want to see the productivity increase strongly. I think that's the key issue.